Ladies and gentlemen, finally it's time. The epic Ferrari 499p is finally here. iRacing has just gone up, and I'm just about to test it out for the first time. I am so excited. Whew. Let's just jump right into it. Here we go. Alright. Oh my god, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. First time exiting the pits in the new Ferrari. Oh, already the sound. You can hear the hybrid. I'm gonna be driving this car all the time, I tell you. This will be my main car from now on, nothing else. I am such a big fan of this car in real life, and to have it in iRacing is so cool. Oh, the sound on the braking. It's just also from the outside, the way that this car looks is just so good. Now, I am on the baseline setup, so I arguably don't know how exactly good this will feel, like driving-wise. Of course, whenever we start to work a bit on the setup, so it will feel different. Another thing that's also changed is the GTP and on the H tire model in iRacing. So it'll be hard to compare against the other GTPs because they've also been changed, right? Just initially, right off the bat right now. But it is supposed to be bopped against the other GTP cars, and it will be competing in IMSA as well as the new prototype series that is coming out, which is super exciting. And that's why I'm saying I'm just gonna be maining this car from now on because it is one of my favorite cars. I've been to Le Mans the last 2 years as well, where it's of course won. Oh my god, that's very deep. Where it's of course won the last 2 Le Mans since they re-entered into WEC in real life. And seeing it win down there in real life and now being able to drive on the sim is something that's super exciting. I think it's a super cool looking car, as I've said a billion times. Oh, on the inside as well, we've got the dash, the steering wheel with a big dashboard that displays all kinds of info. Of course, I had to take the new Ferrari on a spin around Imola, one of Ferrari's home tracks. It is an Italian car, so we need to try it out on an Italian track as well. It is just, this sound as well and everything about this. I'm so happy about this already, and I don't even know how it properly handles, right? Now, of course, the good thing about this being entered is that we now have 5 different LMDH and GTP cars that will be competing against each other. This will be really cool. Now, I'm expecting this to also be in the iRacing Daytona 24 hours, since it's going to be competing in the IMSA series. I'm not sure. This has not been confirmed or anything yet, but that's what I'm guessing, right? Because it's confirmed for the IMSA series, so why wouldn't it be confirmed for the IMSA-related Daytona 24 hours, which is coming up at the end of January? Now, if that's the case, I know what car I'm going to be driving for Daytona 24. The hybrid regen sound really reminds me of the LMP1 cars. I don't know if you remember those days when we had the Audi and the Porsche LMP1 and saw the fast class and in the multi-class races. It really reminds me of that. This sound when you get onto the brakes, it's kind of sound. It's a little bit kind of reminds me of the Audi in a way. It's super nice. Now, of course, with the thing with this being an LMH is that it doesn't have the bump start. And it only activates the hybrid deploy above, I think it's 180 kilometers. And now that activates the hybrid. So you can see here we accelerate 180. There you go. Oh, around 190. Above 180, it activates the hybrid deploy. So until then, it's just the ICE, the internal combustion engine, that runs the whole thing, and then the hybrid kicks in and helps accelerate it past 180 and up to higher speeds, right? Which is super cool. Now, of course, for the other GTPs, the bump start has been added in. For the pit lane, that's basically, you all know pretty much what it is, where you start up the car and you start on the electrical engine, you get the, and then when the car turns on, you get That's me trying to make the sound effects of some of the other cars. Now, this car's really, of course, nice from the inside, but I do also want to just take a look at it in the replay from the outside, because as we all know, it is just a beautiful looking car. So that's what we're going to do now. I don't think it's possible to comprehend how big of a fan so many people are going to be of this, including me. It just looks so good to have it in iRacing. It's like we all know how it looks, but it just when it's actually in the game, it's just something else, you know, to drive it around and test it around like this. It's just something else, and I'm super happy about this, and I think it's going to be super exciting also when we start to get our own custom liveries on this car. I think that's sort of when we'll start to see some beauty as well, because that's sort of one cool thing that's about iRacing and stuff, and sim racing as well, is that we can get our own custom liveries onto here. Now, it does look super great. It does also sound great from the outside. Would I recommend that you buy this car? Absolutely. I mean, in my opinion, it's a no-brainer, but that's also because I am a huge prototype fan, both of the real-life prototypes, but also of driving them inside of iRacing. I also know that they've changed the way that the prototypes are driving, so perhaps if you weren't a fan of how they drove before, you should give them a try once again, because they are slightly changed. Now, there are a lot more updates as well in this iRacing season that I'll be covering in the coming days, so make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. Oh, what an update day. What a time to do sim racing. I'm loving this a lot. Now, I will see you all in another one. Bye.